right, it's 9 in the morning and I am headed to the local dump to drop off a load of garbage from the basement. Operation Build a New Studio in my gross basement has officially begun. $210 kilograms. Is more than I thought. So why in the absolute hell would I want to move my workspace from a perfectly fine, nice space to this gross, messy basement? Well, I mean, truthfully, I don't really want to. I don't love the idea of working in a basement, and I'm not looking forward to the insane amount of work that will be required to make this happen. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. There's a few reasons for this. An obvious one is space. My current space is really tight for all the different things that I do. Creating a studio here won't give me a huge amount of extra space, but it will give me some extra space, about 100 square feet, which is like 40% more. Another reason is temperature. My existing studio is in what was previously a attached garage, and it's not climate controlled in the same way the rest of the house is. And it gets so goddamn hot in there. Like, it's like 25 degrees, but it can go up to 27, 28, which for some people might be fine. But for me, I don't like that. I hate the heat. And then also when I gotta turn like lights and stuff on, it's very unpleasant. And I actually find that temperature highly discouraging when it comes to sitting down and getting things done. So that's actually a huge factor in wanting to do this. And then there's the fact that I am currently using that whole space for work. And upstairs, I have one of the bedrooms that's my like retro media room, my VHS theater room, which is also in a room that's too small for what it's holding. But I essentially got two rooms in the house. One is business, so it kind of doesn't count. My wife has zero, and that's not cool. And I've always felt bad about it. So if I move my studio space down here, then I can move my VHS room into the space that was previously my studio, giving me quite a bit more room for the collection and to be able to build a cooler retro video store sort of setup. And then the room that the tapes and stuff were in can actually become my wife's room, which I would really like to be able to do. It would also give us a place for guests to sleep if they come over, because currently we don't have a guest bedroom, and that's really annoying. Now, I can't just take over this whole basement because it is still our basement in our family home, and we need storage space and a laundry room. So I'm gonna have to block off not quite half of the space, but a good amount of it with a wall so that we have a storage space and a laundry room. And as you can see, it's gross in here. So that's another perk of this whole process, is that it's gonna force me to finally fix up this space so, you know, we have a nice clean area to store stuff and do laundry. I've got lumber coming tomorrow so that I can frame up these two partition walls here, and that's going to be like the big starting task. I've spent a couple days already like going through stuff and making some room. Yeah, I still got lots I got to get rid of. There is a huge stack of boxes taking up a considerable amount of space in the basement. And this is all Idols of Torment product and like shelving and different various things for conventions. I've been able to just like keep it down here, out of sight, out of mind. But now that I want all this space to be work area, I need a home for this. I do have that figured out though. After the dump this morning, I went to a storage place and rented a locker. It's a new company that just took over, so they've got a really, really good rate going, which actually sort of makes it reasonable to do. But that does mean I'll have to load up couple hundred books and put them in the truck and take them down there and store them. But getting this task done is all about just like chipping away at it a little bit at a time. Fixing up this basement is a task that I've avoided for a long time. I planned on doing it several years ago, but when we gutted it, because it was previously grossly finished, we realized there was huge structural problems and it was leaking. I've gotten that all fixed, but then for years, I just didn't do anything. And with my history pre-YouTube as a contractor, it sort of made me reluctant to do this project because I couldn't do it right. The amount of work and expense that would be required to really do everything really good is just not something I can give right now. And that feeling of like needing to do it 100% has made me achieve 0%. But now I've finally kind of relaxed on all that and realized I don't have to go all out. I'm just gonna do it in the most cost-effective, simple way possible. I'm gonna make the laundry room decent, nice and usable, but my space here, I'm not gonna frame and insulate the walls. I want it to be cold. That's one of the reasons for moving. So it's just gonna be, fixing the floor, painting the walls, putting up some sort of slat ceiling so it looks a bit better. Much like is important in hobby stuff, not letting perfection be the enemy of done or complete, or however the saying goes, it. I think one of the biggest challenges in doing this is going to be the concrete floor. We had all these structural issues dealt with, but the floor slab is still all heaved up. And it's pretty decent from here across to that side. But here for about 5 feet, it drastically sinks down. And it does that for like 15 feet this way. The truly correct way to deal with this would be to have a bunch of this concrete slab broken out and re-poured, but that would be incredibly expensive and also very disruptive. So that's not going to happen, but I do need the floor to be, relatively flat so that it's usable. I really can't ignore it completely if I want to have a workable, somewhat flat floor for tables and cabinets and even a chair moving around. So I guess after many years of avoiding this task, in large part because of that floor, it'll probably just end up being 20 bags of self-leveling cement and a hope and a prayer. And yeah, it is what it is. We'll see.